Hey everyone, I'm Shayla and welcome back to another wellness prep workout video. So in this video, I'm going to be doing chest and back. I love doing chest and back, and then we're also going to do some pull-ups. I'm going to show you some techniques that I use to be able to do pull-ups as well. I am officially 6 weeks out. It's making me a little nervous, but I feel like my body is finally starting to change and things are happening. So I'm excited, but time is going by super fast. And I feel like I show you all a lot of lower body workouts. So I wanted to switch it up and show some upper body workouts. I wanted to make it feel like you all were here with me. So that way you can see the struggle that I go through, the heavy breathing. It's a lot. It's not always easy. My workouts are not a breeze. Like, I really do push myself, and I want y'all to be able to see that. And then I got this microphone, so hopefully you all can hear me pretty well, because I feel like I always leave out a bunch of stuff when I do voiceovers. If you do like it, let me know what you all think about it. I'm gonna show you all my warm up, and then we're gonna jump right into the workout after that. So I'm just gonna start off with some cat and cows. My hands are gonna be nice and flat. I wanna make sure my wrists are underneath my shoulder, my back is flat, my toes are tucked, and my legs are about hip distance apart. I'm gonna do a big inhale as I draw my belly button in towards my spine, drop my head, and then on the exhale, I'm gonna arch my back, lift my chin, breathe out. Inhale, tuck my chin, draw my belly button in towards my spine slightly. Exhale, lift my chin. And I'm just gonna do this for about 30 seconds. And this is just to kind of wake up my body. Good. And then once I'm finished there, I'll just sit back to child's pose for a second. And then I'll come back up. All right, so I'm still in that same tabletop position here. Toes are tucked, palms are nice and flat. My wrists are aligned with my shoulder, so nice straight line here. And I'm just gonna lift my right leg all the way back, keeping my belly button facing the floor. And then notice how my toe is down. That's just gonna help for balance, because what I have to do now is lift my left arm up, breathe out, and then bring both of them back down to the mat and switch. So having that toe tucked will help with balance, because if you're like this and you try to lift, you might find yourself a little wobbly. So just make sure that toe is tucked. And then back down. I'm gonna do this for about 30 seconds. And then I just hold it for about 3, and then I switch. So this is really good for your lower back as well as your core. It's gonna teach you how to engage your core. So when someone says engage your core, you're like, what is that? It's basically utilizing your core to keep you nice and stable. So as I lift up, I'm tightening my core a little bit for balance. My toe is tucked, that back foot is pointing down. And then the arm that's in the front, I don't face my palm down, I actually turn it out to the side. And this just helps for better balance. Awesome, so now I'm just gonna flip over on my back. I'm just gonna do some lying knee hugs. Legs are nice and straight. I'm just gonna bring my right leg to my chest. Breathe, and then switch. So even though I'm doing a back workout, there's other muscle groups that are gonna be involved, not just my back. And that's why I'm making sure my entire body is nice and warm. I don't want my legs to be tight, because we are gonna do some bent over rows. So if my hamstrings are tight, it's gonna make it a little bit more challenging. Awesome, so all done there. So now what we're gonna go into is a leg swing. So palms are facing up, body's gonna be nice and straight. All you're gonna do is take this right leg, and the goal is to bring your foot all the way to your hand. So right leg to your left hand. So in slow motion, come up, kick, back down, to the other side, kick. Oh, I'm tight. I can feel it. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up. As I kick towards my hand, I am going to exhale and then come back down. Kick, exhale, and then come back down. I'm just gonna kind of allow my body to flow back and forth. So just try to be very loose and fluid with the motion. So exhale, kick, kick. Just allow your body to turn side to side. All right, perfect. All right, so see, I'm already breathing hard. I'm getting nice and warm. After you do all of these exercises about 2 to 3 times through, your body will be extremely warm. I'm gonna do a upper body twist. All it is basically stretching out your back muscles. So I'm gonna lift my arms up, inhale, and then as I exhale, I am going to extend my arms straight out, and I'm looking straight ahead. Inhale, lift, turning back towards the middle. Exhale, extend my arms, I'm looking straight ahead. My feet are facing forward. Inhale, lift, keeping that chin nice and neutral. And it's just the upper body. You don't have to turn too far, just to the side. All right, nice. So you should feel good and loose. Feel a little burn in my shoulders, but that's okay. So now I'm gonna go into a good morning with the overhead arm extension. And all that is, if you've ever done a good morning, you know how you hinge at the hip and fold over, and then you come up. That's a good morning, but we're gonna do it this way, where we take our arms behind us, hinge at the hip, exhale, come up. So legs are about hip width apart. As I go down, I'll have a soft bend in my knees. So my knees are slightly bent. I'm going to fold over at the hips only. So I'm not squatting. I'm just gonna fold, keeping my core engaged. Arms go back. I'm gonna feel good stretch in my hamstrings, keeping my core engaged, and then I'm gonna exhale, come up. All the way up. Inhale, arms go back. Exhale, arms come up. Next up is a superset. So I'm gonna do chest flies on this machine, and then I'm also gonna do push-ups. So I'm gonna start off with 15 reps of a chest fly. My seat is way too low. I'm gonna pull that up because I want it to be about shoulder height. Okay, perfect. Make sure the weight is good. We're gonna put it on 40 pounds. That's good enough right there to get started. So what I'm gonna do first are 15 reps of chest flies, and then I'm gonna immediately go into push-ups, and I'm going to do 15 reps of those as well. And I have 5 sets. So I do a lot of sets. Here we go. So I just like to keep my elbows slightly bent, bring my arms all the way together. I do open my hands when I come together, so I can fully close the machine. 13, 14, 15. Okay, that wasn't bad. I'm gonna have to go up, it's kind of light. If you're not able to do push-ups on the mat, you can actually start with the Smith machine. So for someone, you can start as high as you want, honestly. I would say somewhere like in the middle of your body, and you'll just step back, keep your feet together, engage your core, draw your belly button in, go down, and then press up. So this would be a really good place to start. And then as you get stronger, take it lower and lower. And eventually you'll work your way all the way down to the mat. I'm just gonna do mine on the mat. I will say the mat is very narrow, so I do kind of place my hands slightly off of it, just so that way I get that perfect position. Because if I do it too close, it's gonna activate more of my triceps, and I don't want that. I wanna hit my chest. So my fingers are gonna hang off the mat slightly. I'm gonna step back here, and I have 15 reps. I have to do all of this 4 more times, have 5 sets total. I love push-ups. So I started my fitness journey with calisthenics. meaning body weight exercises. So pull-ups, push-ups, dips, burpees, lunges, any pretty much body weight exercise you can think of. So doing anything body weight, I absolutely love doing. The weights are honestly the challenge for me because I got into weight training years after I started getting into fitness. Like, of course, I was like lifting dumbbells and kettlebells and barbells here and there, but I really got into weight training a few years after I got into my fitness journey. And so I didn't develop the same love for weight training as I did for calisthenics. And I ran track too. So I love all things running, and calisthenics are my absolute favorite, but I still enjoy weight training. Don't get me wrong, I really do. But I think I like calisthenics better. All right, so my rest is almost over, but we're gonna go into pull-ups next. I'm really excited. This is like one of my absolute favorite exercises to do. I learned how to do pull-ups, I wanna say back in like 2012-ish or so. One day I just tried. I just hopped on a pull-up bar. I tried to pull myself up, and I did. I did about 5 reps. They were not pretty, but I did it. And then after that, I just kept doing it every single week. And that's the thing with pull-ups, you have to be consistent with them. You can't do them one time and then it not work out for you, and then you stop doing it altogether. You got to start with baby steps. So if you have an assisted pull-up machine in your gym, I would start there. Assisted pull-up machine basically has a pad that you can put your knees on, and you can set the resistance to pull yourself up. I would start with that and do it every single week. Whenever you have back day, chest and back and biceps, whatever, make sure you're doing your pull-ups every single week. Don't skip out, because if you take a break from doing them, when you do start back doing pull-ups again, it's going to be a lot more challenging. So it's one thing that you just have to consistently do. If you have upper body strength, you can use a band. This is a pretty thin band, so it's not going to give me a lot of resistance, or you can use a thicker band. I don't have one to show you all, and that'll give you even more resistance. But if you're using a band, you do have to have some upper body strength. So if you're starting from scratch, I would probably suggest assisted pull-up machine first, and then once you build up some strength, especially grip strength too, you can jump into those pull-ups. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do my first set, so that way I can get that out of the way. First things first, and then I'll go over some other things with you all. As far as how far your arms should be apart, I just open my arms up here, and then I reach straight up. That is my pull-up arm placement position right here. It's not going to be out here. It's not going to be really close. I want my chest to be able to stay nice and open as I'm doing these pull-ups. I never do pull-ups without music, so here we go. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to step off. You can keep your legs straight. Why am I so nervous? You can keep your legs straight, or you can bend your knees, your choice. And you're just going to pull, exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Clearly I haven't been doing my pull-ups. And 10. And then I'm going to step back. I bent my knees because I thought it would help, but it actually made it harder for me. I normally keep my legs straight. So then, once the pull-ups start to get hard, I'll grab the band and I'll add that in. Arms open, wherever your arms land, that is your arm placement. You're going to do your pull-ups that way. Think about drawing your elbows towards your side as you're pulling up. You want to keep your chest open. You don't want to have a narrow grip, because then you're pulling like this, and that's really, really hard to pull your body weight up that way. So here, exhale as you come up, inhale on the way down, exhale, breathe out up, in on the way down. And I also like to slightly look up, because that's where I want to go. So I'm not looking down. Sometimes I'll look straight ahead, but a lot of times I'll find something that's above eye level, and I'll look at that, because it gives me a target to reach for. It's like I have to get to that spot every single time. You can keep your legs straight, or you can cross them. Some people, or you can bend them. Some people say bending your legs is a little bit easier for them. Personal preference. You can just do what works the best for you. But whatever you do, you don't want to rock and sway back and forth. out of this, I like to hold on with one hand and then use my other hand to get my foot out. Just 3 more to go. 5 sets of 10. I don't think I said that. 5 sets of 10 reps. Gonna stretch. My back gets really tight in between my sets, so I just like to stretch it out. So another thing that you can do is you can just hang from the pull-up bar. This is going to improve your grip strength. So what I like to do is to grab the bar. I don't do a false hook, meaning that my thumb is on top. My thumb is always underneath, pretty much making a fist, but I'm not grabbing it with too hard. But nice firm grip. I'm gonna step off of the box. My legs are gonna be together, my core is engaged. I even kind of tighten up my glutes a little bit to keep my body nice and stiff, so that way I don't swing, and I just hold it. So when I started off doing this, I could only do it for 20 seconds. Now I can hold it for about a minute. This is really going to help with your grip strength. So I would highly suggest adding this into your routine to improve it, because you're going to need some really good grip strength to master the pull-ups. And as I get tired, sometimes I count out loud, and that just helps me when I'm counting out loud to keep going. So you have to figure out tips and tricks that will help you. So for me, counting backwards helps, counting out loud helps, and breathing, making sure I exhale every single time I pull. Sometimes I'll even pause to readjust myself, and then I'll start back up again. Next, we're gonna do some chest press. I'm gonna start off with some 25s, dumbbells. I'm just gonna lay back on the bench and do 5 sets of 10. So when I lay back and I go into my chest press, I may have to re-angle you all, because I don't think you might not be able to tell, but my arms, my elbows are not aligned with my shoulder, meaning that I don't have a straight line from my shoulder to my elbow and then press up. I'm actually at like a 45 degrees, so I slightly angle my elbows down, so that way when I press, I get more of a chest contraction, and then back down. Hits my chest, exhale, and then back down here. So just kind of keep that in mind, especially if you do it up here, you'll feel it in your shoulders a lot, and it'll be extremely painful. We don't want that. So bring your elbows down slightly and press up. Ooh, my quads are sore. I felt that. I'm just gonna lay it back. Elbows are angled. Exhale, press. I bring it together, but they're not touching. Back down. Together, but don't allow the dumbbells to touch. 6. One thing I realized, I'm so bad at counting. I think I did 11. I don't even know how many I did. I did an extra one because maybe I missed a rep, or maybe I did an extra one. I have no idea. But sometimes I'm so focused on my lift that I forget what number I'm on. So I either end up doing too many or too little. And I hate that, but it is what it is. So if I feel like I didn't do enough, I'll just keep going. Time for some lat pull downs. I'm just gonna start it at 40 pounds. I have to use a step. I'm short, and all this equipment is super tall. It is not made for people who are 5'4". So this is the Mag Grip lat pull down bar, and I really like it just because it's extremely comfortable to use, and I feel it in my back a lot more. So I'm just gonna grab it, sit down. Oh, I need to adjust the pads, because if they are not touching your legs, you'll feel yourself come out of the seat. You don't want that. All right. But you can also use a regular lat pull down bar that's straight. It doesn't have to be this one. This is just my personal favorite. So I'm gonna slightly lean back, draw my shoulders down and back, exhale, pull towards my chest, and release. And I do slow and controlled movements. I don't rush it. I'm gonna do 15. I think I'm at 4, we'll see. I'm so bad at counting. I think I'm at 7. I'm gonna go back and watch this video and be completely off. Oh, time for some bent over rows. So I'm gonna start off with 25 pounds and then I'll see how this feels. If I feel like I can go up, then I will, but we'll start here. My hand is gonna be flat on the bench. I like to make sure that my wrist is underneath my shoulder, and then I'll tuck that back leg under for a little extra support. And then the leg that's supporting me on the floor, always keep this knee slightly bent. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab this weight. I think my AirPods are gonna fall out. So yeah, I try not to look down because I end up with very poor form by the end of my rows. So I look out, so I don't look up, kind of look out, and it just keeps my spine nice and neutral. So I'm gonna get in position, arch my back, look out, and just focus on that object the entire time. I drop my shoulder and then pull. Drop, exhale, pull. And then as I'm pulling, I'm exhaling. Again, you have to breathe with this. So my starting position is here. I drop my shoulder down, and then as I pull up, I tighten my core and exhale. But it's not so tight to where I'm suffocating. Just enough to where it protects my lower back and I don't feel any pain back there. All right, another 15. Here we go. Good. All right. I want to give you all a different angle. So this is me from the front, struggling. I'm going to take it up and put it on 50. So I did my first set at 40. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't challenging enough either. So let's go to 50. All right. Feet are nice and flat. 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10. 2. One more. Oh, I'm almost finished. So I have my last superset and then I am good to go. Sometimes I'll do everything individually and then sometimes I'll superset it. So I'm gonna go ahead and superset the last 2 exercises I have, which is a standing lat pull down and then a seated chest press. So I'm just gonna step back. I wanna make sure the weights are separated from the stack so that way when I release the weight, it doesn't hit the weights on the bottom. So I'm gonna step back, knees are slightly bent. I'm gonna pull straight down, keeping my arms straight, and then come back up a little above shoulder height, not too high, and then exhale back down, and then back up. And I like to slightly bend over so that way I can really pull that weight down. So as I'm doing this exercise, I couldn't talk and do it. As I'm doing it, when I pull down, when I get here, I squeeze my lats, so my back right here. I squeeze it, that way I can feel that contraction there. And then I come up, I relax, and as I'm coming down, my core starts to tighten and I'm squeezing right there. And that way I know that I'm working the proper muscle group. I'm focusing on the muscle that I'm utilizing for this exercise. So I'm just gonna go Go ahead and get in position, sit up nice and tall. Exhale as I press, and I have 15 reps. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, set 2. This is the 50 pounds is actually pretty challenging, so I'm just going to keep the weight here because I don't want to compromise my form just to get in heavier weight. I want to make sure I have quality reps every single time. So I'm just going to keep it at 50 and repeat the same thing. And another thing, like as you get tired, you'll want to tense up. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed. So when you're in that starting position, you're pretty much in an athletic stance. And all that means is that your knees, your legs are about hip distance apart, maybe a little bit further. Your knees are slightly bent. Your butt is slightly poked out just a little bit. And you're going to draw your belly button in a little slightly and relax your shoulders. So don't start like this. Keep your shoulders down and away from your ears. And just pull down, squeeze your back here, pause for a second, and then come back up. Down, squeeze, come back up. And it's gonna make a world of difference just because now you're starting to make that mind-muscle connection. So you're gonna be able to work that muscle group a lot better, a lot more efficiently, and see results. All right, chest press, let's go. The 60 was pretty challenging, so I'm gonna keep it on 60 for another set, and then I may take it up to 75 after that. So I like to sit up nice and tall, slightly poke my chest out, and get ready. I'm procrastinating. Come on, Shayla. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 20. Okay. I did a few more just because that set felt lighter than the first time. So I'm gonna go up to 75, and I just did a few extra reps. So on this next set at 75, I'm pretty sure I'll only get in 15. That is it for this workout. I'm out of breath, as you can tell. I am just gonna go ahead and do my hour of cardio because I have to do that before I eat. So I think I'm just gonna walk on the treadmill and maybe watch a movie or something. And then I'm gonna go home and eat probably some Ezekiel bread and make some egg whites, maybe make it into like an omelet or some sort. And that's all. But I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. Let me know how you like the microphone in this setup, because if you like this, I can do more of these. I just wanted to make sure I could give you all the most information possible. And with the voiceover, sometimes I just forget. I don't know. I'm still working on my voiceover skills, but with this, I feel like I can tell you what I'm doing in the moment. So if you want more videos, or if you want like real-time workout videos too, let me know that. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye.